somewhat specific to a small group of divine feminines tuned in here. So if you were drawn to this video because of the title or the thumbnail, or maybe it just seemed to show up randomly, but of course nothing's truly random in the universe, I do believe there is a reason you felt that resonance, and hopefully for whoever that group of specific individuals is, I'm able to bring forth some messages for you today. I'm hearing that the purpose of this reading is to bring you some kind of clarity, because you've already received a push, a divine push in a certain direction. This has been your guides. For some reason, I'm specifically seeing a male figure that may have passed on, someone who may have already transitioned into spirit, and this could be particularly a grandfather or great-grandfather whose presence you've been picking up on for some of you listening. I know that's very specific to someone here, so only take that if it resonates. But if that is for you, and regardless of whether or not that particular past relative connects with you, there are a lot of spiritual forces around you, your spirit guides, the past loved ones who you might be sensing around you, who have been assisting you in this life at this time, pushing you in a certain direction. And I'm hearing this direction is something that somewhat scares you, but it also really lights you up. Whatever this is, like if you were to talk about going in this direction, I see that your whole energetic field, your whole aura would start lighting up. And as a result of this, there's something about your eyes like literally lighting up with passion when you talk about this particular thing that your guides have been trying to push you to do or push you to be. But again, there's that fear there. And what I'm getting is you've been feeling this push somewhat for a while now. But every time you get this push, you might start to move in that direction, and then the fear kind of pulls you back a little bit. For some of you, this could be criticism from other people that actually pulls you back a little bit when you start to move towards whatever this thing is. And we are going to get into as many details as I can for some of you listening. But first, if you would like me to channel more specifically for you and your situation, I do recommend liking the video and subscribing, because this does allow me to pick up more easily on your energy and channel more specifically for you and your situation. Okay, so the message that came through really strongly, and the reason I hit that record button, was the message that you've been putting a dream on hold for a long time. And now it's time. You've been getting the divine push towards this dream, towards real action steps, towards doing something in that direction, because it's as though the spiritual forces surrounding you, protecting you, and guiding your life, or rather assisting you in staying aligned with the highest vibrational version of your life, with your highest timeline. Those forces are really giving you a strong push in this direction. Now, with 𝘍𝑚 romance reversed, the interesting thing I'm picking up for some of you is you may be feeling really frustrated because in a love situation, you might feel like things aren't moving forward, or you might be trying to wrap your mind around the meaning of a particular love connection in your life, what to do with it, whether to cut it off or move forward with it. There just feels like there's some frustration in love for whoever I'm picking up on here. And the ironic thing is, and the frustrating thing to our human ego self about this particular message is, the reason that things have been feeling blocked in love, or maybe in other certain relationships in your external world, maybe you feel as though you've not been able to really find your people in this life, or really connect with other people in the way that you want to, whether that's platonically, romantically. There just feels like there's some frustration here when it comes to intimate relationships, platonically or romantically. But I feel your guides saying that is for a reason, because you came here to do something, and you've been feeling the divine push in that direction. But also there is this frustration when it comes to your relationships at this time, and this tendency for the ego to really pull you back because of those fears that come up when you begin moving in this direction. This is such a strange message, but it's almost as though your guides are intentionally keeping things a little shut down right now in love or in your social life or something along those lines, because you are meant to be taking these steps towards some type of dream, because you are being sent on this really powerful, highly individualized journey that also holds a lot of spiritual purpose and meaning for the collective as well. And I'm hearing your life is going to look very different from the blueprint that many people around you are following. And this may be generating some confusion from the ego, because you might look around and the ego has a tendency to cross-compare and to wonder why certain milestones in 3D aren't happening for you in the same way or on the same timeline as other people. And I have to say, this whole reading I've been getting goosebumps because there's such a powerful and highly spiritual energy around you, and I feel like that's the really strong presence of your spirit guides pushing you in this direction at this time. You might be seeing signs as well, signs that it's time to take action towards this goal or dream. This feels like something you've been holding on to for a really long time. I'm hearing put on the back burner. So for some reason you put this dream on hold. Maybe the circumstances wouldn't allow you to take those action steps towards it. Maybe there was some type of spiritual lesson that you had to undergo, something that you had to do first internally. I'm almost getting the sense like everything up until this point has actually been preparing you. It's been a preparation period for this dream that you've always held in your heart, that now you are being pushed to actually take real action toward. And particularly whatever you've gone through spiritually and personally and potentially even romantically in that frustrating romantic situation, this has all really activated your throat chakra. So what this tells me is that this dream you are moving towards now might actually involve utilizing your newly activated throat chakra energy. And what your guides want you to know as well is, if this is some type of dream that you've tried to pursue in the past, I'm hearing failed. You may have felt like you failed at this thing in the past. So this could be something creative, something artistic, something to do with music or writing, a business idea. You may have felt as though in the past you were a failure. That's what your ego may have told you, because things didn't seem to want to move forward in that direction. But your guides are saying it's because things weren't aligned for you yet in the past in the way that they are now. And most specifically, you had to go through this deep throat chakra activation that would energetically shift you and open you up in such a way that you would then be able to effectively take these quantum leaps towards this dream or goal. And what your guides also want you to know is that because of the way you've been activated in recent months or years, even if you have tried in the past to take action towards this dream, everything is going to be different for you now because your energy has powerfully shifted. The time is right for you. There really are these spiritual seasons to our life, and I feel like you've been through a winter, through a very long winter, through a time when you kept these dreams and potentially some of these gifts buried in the snow, but beneath the earth as the ground thought, which I really see that being your inner healing, your heart opening, your throat chakra activation. Through all of that, that seed began sprouting and growing, and it's now ready to break free through the earth. And if you're watching this video around the time of the end of 2022 and the beginning of 2023, that is not coincidental either, because I see that you are closing out this major cycle and chapter in your life. You are closing out that cycle, that season of winter, and synchronistically we have blossoming abundance upright. You are ready to blossom into this radical growth that other people are going to be able to see, and it's also going to bring you a lot of abundance as well. I feel like whatever this endeavor involving your throat chakra is, whether you are a speaker, a writer, a musician, a creative, a business owner, whatever this is, it feels as though it's going to bring you a lot of abundance and success, but even more importantly, it's going to bring you a really deep sense of fulfillment. I'm hearing coming full circle. And the reason it's so fulfilling is because this is a seed that you've been carrying, I'm hearing, in your back pocket, like you've been holding on to this, maybe at times somewhat secretly, for a really long time. This has been a long time in coming. This could be a childhood dream for whoever I'm channeling into here. I'm seeing the number 136, so that may resonate for someone here. Yeah, you've gone through with the throat chakra reversed, this really deep internal energetic activation of your voice. But I keep hearing that had to happen through experiences in your life that were really painful, that caused you to feel as though you didn't have a voice, or that you had lost your voice entirely. There may have been moments in time where you thought that you were giving up on this particular goal or dream, but the thing is, you were never giving up. You were surrendering to the activation process that had to happen within you to prepare you to take the action steps you are now being pushed to take towards this dream. I'm really feeling like there's a Starseed Oracle deck card for you as well. Sunflowers may be symbolic for someone listening. We have the card Breath of the Cosmos, my will to thy will, micromanaging the universe. So I feel as though this dream may be something that you tried to let go of, you tried to manage down. You may have almost, I'm hearing like making a deal with yourself, like you may have told yourself, for example, I can do this as a hobby as long as I work this kind of job or career. There feels like there are a lot of limiting beliefs that may have come from people around you in childhood, because again, this does feel like potentially a childhood dream. It feels as though people around you in childhood may have told you that you could never be successful or be abundant doing this dream you're being pushed towards now. And so a lot of this inner work has been beginning to unravel those limiting beliefs so that you can step into your true power and potential, because you didn't come here to fit in. You came here to be a path forger. With the card Double Mission in the reverse position, whenever I see this Double Mission card, I often take it to be a twin flame card. Now, this may not resonate for you personally, but for some of you, I'm seeing that you may be someone who, in addition to this dream or goal that you have, you may have been on a twin flame path as well. And you may have had some type of separation from your twin flame. You may have felt some kind of disconnect even from the label of twin flame or the idea of twin flames, even though this is still a core aspect of who you are on a spiritual level. I feel like this twin flame journey for some of you may have been what activated you, what awakened you. It may have even been something that triggered your throat chakra activation as well. But the very confusing thing about this twin flame connection, if you are a twin flame, is that while this divine masculine counterpart may have spiritually activated you and aligned you with this path you're now on, that is now pushing you into this blossoming, that is pushing you to open yourself up. At the same time, this same physical 3D person, this same masculine, may actually in some ways be hindering you in 3D along this path, meaning because they are still sitting in some of their own energetic wounding, they are still doing their inner healing work. It may not be possible for some of you listening to remain fully 3D connected to this divine masculine and continue along this spiritual path that they have activated you to. So now there is this very paradoxical kind of situation where, with walking away upright, this soul has activated you to these major spiritual shifts that have happened within you, that have awakened you, that are now pushing you into this throat chakra activation that's aligning you with this really grand dream or vision. And yet at this time, you may have found that you had to walk away from the physical 3D form of this person. It might feel as though this dream or this goal is something that you're doing alone. And that feeling of loneliness is coming through really intensely as I'm channeling into your energy here. Yeah, with storm warning upright, it might be causing you a lot of inner turmoil. And I feel Spirit saying, don't settle for less than you deserve just because you're feeling alone. That is a very, very strong key for you moving forward. Don't allow feelings of loneliness to make you settle for less than you deserve, but particularly with the thinking man upright. And don't allow those fears generated from your ego around being alone or doing this work alone cause you to connect with a masculine who is still in his ego as well. Allow yourself to be led by the soul and allow the ones who are meant for you to either be attracted to you or repelled away from you accordingly as you are standing in your power. But this is so much easier said than done. This is a very challenging path that you've chosen, and just because it is so drastically different from what many physically incarnated souls around you are choosing, you might feel like you stick out like a sore thumb. I'm hearing, especially if you go to family gatherings or you're around a lot of other people, you may really feel as though you don't quite fit, you don't quite belong, because you're on this very different path. And know that you are on this path for a divine purpose and reason. You are in fact forging this path, and I'm hearing others will follow, potentially even some of those who are directly around you who might still be holding on to and projecting out some of their own fears onto you. When they see this blossoming happening within you and in your life as you continue to courageously step forward, they might even end up following you onto similar pathways, because you've forged that path for now a collective consciousness. Very powerful messages coming through this reading, and the energy around you right now is so intense on so many different levels and layers. I can just see it in your aura, because you have all of these spiritual guides, potentially even past loved ones, pushing you in the direction of this dream. You have these fears surfacing from the ego, but this resounding feeling within you that is really a higher self knowing that it's time to take this leap, it's time to take these actions. I'm ready now in a way that I was not ready before. So to assist you in remaining aligned with this beautiful dream that you're now stepping towards, I would recommend exploring some of these subliminals I've created through my website, soundandsoulful.com. The reason for this is because when we talk about these fears coming up from your ego, what we're really talking about are these artificial limiting belief systems that become stored in the subconscious mind. And the reason this is so important is because it's actually your subconscious mind that controls 95% of your thoughts, your energy, and your life. So reprogramming the subconscious mind is like a back door to manifestation, so to speak. It's a way to really deeply, efficiently, effectively reprogram our energetic field, release those limiting beliefs and programs, and magnetize ourselves for our dreams, goals, and desires in life, for what we really came here to be and do. So I do have many different subliminals on my website, as you can see on the screen. So you can find a subliminal meditation that connects with the dream or goal that you've been pushed towards, that you're manifesting. Otherwise, I would really recommend my subliminal called the Awakened Divine Feminine, because this particularly is for divine feminines to release those restricting and limiting belief systems and fully magnetize you into your true power that will help you to effortlessly begin manifesting your dreams, goals, and desires in life. So the link to the Awakened Divine Feminine subliminal that I've created is in the pinned comment in description box under the video if you do feel guided to exploring more about that. And when you create a 7-day free trial account on my website, you can access any subliminal I've created completely free for 7 days. You can even create your own custom private playlists as well. And again, the link to all of that information is in the pinned comment in description box under the video. Okay, so let's channel a few final closing messages. What else does the Divine Feminine listening to this reading need to know at this time? Okay, so we have the solar plexus chakra in a reverse position. And hearing your sense of confidence in yourself is the only thing holding you back. Again, going back to those fears being generated from the ego, most of this is getting through at this time for whoever's connecting with this message, particularly through the solar plexus, which is why in recent years, along with your throat chakra, because of course there's been a very powerful throat chakra activation, but your solar plexus has been really activated as well, which may have been what pushed you to walk away or set boundaries, even with that particular masculine that came through the reading, if that is relevant to you. But it feels like this is the main area that would be the most effective to work on at this time as you're doing that daily energy work on yourself, on your mind. Strengthening your solar plexus, which means, of course, strengthening your sense of self-worth, self-love, and hearing date yourself, fall completely in love with yourself, regardless of the status of your romantic relationships or connections. You have such a rare and beautiful and valuable energy, and it feels as though there may have been others in your life who convinced you subconsciously away from that knowing, but you're now being guided back into that, guided back into having the confidence to share your newly activated throat chakra energy, your newly activated voice, because I'm hearing through sharing your activated voice, you are actually energetically activating others, regardless of what you are doing with this throat chakra energy, whether you are channeling it into a profession, a career, into a business, into a creative endeavor. Regardless, whatever you are infusing your energy into is having this powerful, resounding ripple effect, I'm hearing, on everyone who sees or hears or is privy to what you are creating. It does feel like someone I'm channeling here may be posting something publicly or publishing something, sharing music or writing or something through social media, because I see people listening to or hearing whatever you are sharing and being really deeply spiritually activated by it. This feels like such an essential part of what you came here to be and do, which is why you always held the seed of this dream in your soul, even through childhood, even through the doubts and fears others may have projected onto you. You've never been able to fully give up on this dream, and that's for a reason. It's because It is a key component of your soul's blueprint, that divine design for our lives that we each create prior to incarnating here on earth. So wow, thank you to all of you who are co-creating this reading today, because we are all co-creators here on this channel. And I would love if you could leave me a comment if this message was for you. Again, it did feel very specific to a group of people, but I hope it reached you. I am sending you so much love today. You can follow me on Instagram at @magnetizeyourself and subscribe to the channel if you would like to join our beautiful community here on YouTube. The link to the Awakened Divine Feminine Subliminal Meditation is in the pinned comment and description box under the video. Otherwise, I'm wishing you a beautiful day, and I will talk to you again in the next video.